Hi crafters, this is Crafty Savvy and I'm back today to do a quick little video with you. So in my last video I was telling you about this roll of drywall tape that my husband was going to throw away. I was explaining how, you know, now he has something that's just a little bit easier to use. It's more of a plastic mesh that's sort of sticky on one side. But anyhow, so he didn't really want this anymore, and just as it was going into the trash, he said, wait, let me see what I might be able to do some things with it. So I played around a little. So I don't think I really came up with anything new per se. And I guess the point of maybe this whole process is that sometimes you have to look beyond what you actually see. You know, something like this, it's paper and it's, you know, pretty good size. You can make it into any size you want, and the width is good for journals and things like that. So I thought, you know, why not? I could utilize it and put it into my, decorate it in the right way, could go into my journals without a problem. So I guess the point is that you don't actually need a roll of drywall tape to do any of the things that I did with it today. You could very easily cut a strip of cardstock or paper. This isn't that thick. In some instances I had to even double it up to make it a little thicker, but you could very easily use paper for any of the projects I'm about to show you. Yeah, so it's not like you got to run out and get a roll of drywall tape. That is not my intention at all. But I just wanted to show you that sometimes you can make pretty things out of something that might not necessarily be so pretty. Anyhow, so let me just show you what I made. So like I said, nothing really new. So I tried to do a few things, and I'll show you them sort of one by one. And I'm really sorry guys, I would like to do tutorials on all of these things. Probably most of them I have already, but my thumb is actually really killing me and haven't been able to do too much crafting. I have to really get that checked out, but it's now stopping me from using my scissors so much, and it's getting worse. So anyway, so I cut a really long roll of drywall tape, and you could just cut a really long strip of paper. And I took out my favorite set of stamps, and I'll show you that in a second. And I love, this is my favorite set, and I've shown this before, and I've written it down, and but I will show you all again because I always get questions about this stamp set. I love it so much. But it looks very like, I don't know, I get this old newspaper feel from it. For some reason, I'm not sure if it's just the black on this color. I don't know, but I really love it. So I just random stamping all the way across. So I just made a really long sheet of it, a piece of it. And then I remember, I don't know if I think I told you guys about the double-sided tape that I bought that was about, I think it's it's an inch thick. So I was very easily able to get two pieces, so 2 inches on the back, and so I could peel it off, and now it's sticky, and stick it to the inside of my journals. And so I really like a giant piece of washi tape. And the thing I like about this sort of drywall stuff is the texture. It almost has a fabric feel to it, which makes it sort of different from paper. And I really like that. So, this one I coffee stained first. And I like it, but not as much. The ink is a little smudgy, but there's just something about this black. So this was a very simple process, and this I could just quickly show you. So I just literally took a piece of my drywall tape here, and we'll cut a piece off. And here are the stamps. This stamp set is called, sorry for that glare, let me just take that off. Okay, I got this eons ago, so I'll see how close I can get this. It is called Vintage Ads, right up there. And I got this at Michael's. It was a recollections thing. And it was on clearance for $5.99. But I'm telling you, I got this a really, really long time ago. I guess 2013. Maybe that's the date, but I think so. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. This is a really nice alarm clock with a bit of writing there. And a teacup and an old phone, and everybody's always looking for something stampy, and this is like a little calendar. So honestly, this really is the easiest thing you'll ever do. So I just took the big one here, and we'll ink it up. Oop, my hand. Okay, and I just randomly stamp, and we'll do a little bit over here. And then I will use the phone. And we'll go over here. Let's see. We could fit a little bit more over here. Okay. And we can use the stampy one. Let's fill in a bit more, and then I can use other ones to fill in the blank spots. We can go here. Okay, and then the little guy, I can go this way. And then what I also like to do is sometimes just stamp again without putting it in the ink to fill in some of the gaps without wrecking the other picture too much. So like for instance, I could just use a little bit here, and it comes out a little lighter, so I really like that. And also, let's see, I like the very top part of this one too. It says official business right on the top. So I like to use just the kind of edge of that to fill in some of the gaps. That looks cute. And where else? I think we're just about good. I need just a little bit here. I use the bottom of this. Okay. So it's as easy as that. And like I said, you could do the same process on a regular sheet of paper, and then you could use sticky back paper, or like I did, just apply some double-sided tape at the back. The only other thing I did to this, to bring it out a little, was ink up the edges. It kind of helps define everything a little bit. This is not my distress ink that I'm using. I'm just going into the black ink that I used to stamp. You could use any one you want. Yep, and that was the first project that I did. Didn't take too long. I'll probably do some more using some other stamps, but there you go. So that's just an idea to get your stamps out and play around a little bit. So I will wash those in a little bit. And then the next project I did, let me just flip this around, was I made these little booklets. And again, you can make these very easily without it being drywall tape. You could use regular scrapbooking paper, book page, whatever you have. I believe, okay, so I just folded them. I added some pages inside. I added 2 brads here with the little circles that I cut out and some string to keep it closed. And then when you open them, I line them with book page. There's just extra writing pages inside. It's a little booklet. So I think this whole thing is 10 inches, the whole piece of paper that I used. So I literally just folded it over this way. I think this is about, let's see, 1.25 inches. I came down for the top and then I folded it up. Let's see, this is about 4.25 when it's folded. And that's about it. And like I said, I just attached these on there to keep it closed. And I just used a little, I sewed them in like a little signature. There's about 8 pages in total there. And that's it. So I thought those were a cute little addition. I just made 4 for now, but I think I'll make some more. And again, just using the, I stamped them all, just like I showed you just a minute ago. And they all turned out really cute. This one I coffee stained first. And I love it. Just a nice little size to fit into a pocket or something inside of the journal. So then the next thing I did was I felt like doing a little collaging. So I started off making a few just like this. These are just big enough, I think, to fit onto a journal page. If you had this, these are about 8.25 long, but I figured I could cut them down if I needed to put them on a book page. So how I would use those is, let's just say for instance, this is my journal page. I would probably attach it to the side. So a couple things. I would, if I wanted to keep this one plain, I'd probably sew here and here and here and then use this as a little pocket. So a little side tuck. Yeah, and these I just literally collaged. I just took a bunch of little scraps of paper and collaged on them. And that's so much fun to do. I'm like literally addicted to collaging everything right now. So I started off making some plain ones. And then I made a couple more here. I'll show you this one first. So same thing, I just collaged some papers, and then I took a little bit of, I had this little ribbon, butterfly ribbon, that I took to the sewing machine, and I just ran the whole thing, the paper and the ribbon, through my sewing machine and created a little ruffle there, just right down the center. And I thought, again, that would be cute. This could be really cute for like a belly band in the middle of your page. Sorry about the bugs on that paper. And so yeah, maybe a belly band, or again, just a side tuck either there or there on this side. So I thought it was really cute. This ribbon I got at my local dollar store, so I don't know, but it doesn't really say what it is. It just has butterflies on it. So that's that one. And then this one, the same thing, that I just took a little bit of lace and made a ruffle right down the center. And I really love the way they came out, really cute. So that was a nice idea. Anxious to put those in my journals. And then, let's see. Oh, these are just a few more that I made. A little bit of color this time. Longer strips. I thought maybe I could either cut them down or, you know, put them in my journals. There. So those would be fun to use. And again, it's just all using that roll of drywall tape that my husband gave me. And then finally, I made some tags. Let's see. I actually took the drywall tape this time and folded them in half. But I mean, you could take your scrapbook paper or your cardstock or anything, and we all know how to make tags anyways, and just make a tag for yourself. I like this size. I like the 2 inches. Sometimes you just want something small or thin to fit into a, you know, an unusually shaped pocket or envelope or something. So I kind of like the fact that I have the option to have a few smaller things. But anyway, these are just some of the ones I decorated real quick. Just a little bit of collaging. I got a really nice scenery here. Oh, I want to tell you something about some of the images that you're going to see on here. So I was on Facebook Marketplace, and I was just looking up, I always look up, you know, to see what people are selling in terms of crafts and things like that. And it came across this lady who was selling 8 packages. Let's see. These were the bags that they came in. Sorry about the glare, but quite big is what I wanted to show you. 8 of those just stuffed full of images and old vintage birthday cards and just lots of things. And I guess she must have been scrapbooking a long time ago. I'm not sure, or what she was doing, but she had backed a lot of these images on just construction paper and things like that. So I'm guessing, you know, she was a crafter of some sort at some time. And I saw those 8 packages. I was like, wow, I could do something with those, that's for sure. So I messaged her, and for 40 bucks, I brought home like 2 giant bags full of things. And it took me about 3 or 4 nights to get through everything. Some things I had to toss, you know, really not my thing, some of the colors, but most of it was. And I'll show you just quickly. This is only one of the file folders that I went through and cut down things. I have 3 of them. So I did get a lot of stuff. I kind of organized it in ways of like things that had butterflies, images that had butterflies on them, and then like birds, anything that had birds on it. I mean, there were super old things in there too, like some really old cards. That, I mean, these wouldn't necessarily go in a vintage journal, but you never know, like it, you know, who knows. So then like just nature. There were a lot of beautiful images for, and some of these cards, some of these things actually feel like hand painted, and I know they're not really, but just really beautiful images. Lots of things. Let's see, like this. So pretty. There were a lot of cards. I'm guessing birthday cards and Easter cards and all kinds of things. So I did a lot of cutting, shaping things. I'm turning, making them into squares, and then I got just some random like colored things, and then kind of more. How can I say, like cartoony images, I guess. I would probably not necessarily use these now, but some of them were so cute. I just thought that I would cut them out, and you never know if I had to make a card or something like that. Okay, I've seen this before. Has anybody else seen a card? I'm guessing this was a birthday card. But that's pretty old. But yeah, I thought it was so cute. I didn't have the heart to throw it away. So anyways, so that's one of them. And then, I mean, I could go on forever. And quickly, I'll get back to the tags in a second. But here's another one. Just quickly, wanted to show you. These are like everything that has anything to do with flowers and florals. So I divided these all up into small, medium, and large. And yeah, there's a lot of beautiful images in here. I mean, some of these are really old. You can just tell by I just shot all the projects across the table. Anyways, but by the color scheme, you could just see the age on them. But I mean, I love that. I love that for using in quote unquote vintage journals that we try to replicate, right? So, but yeah, so there's lots and lots of florals. And so I just cut them down, and then like I said, a small, medium, and then large size images. So that's what I did sort of like last week, I guess sometime. But I was really fortunate to come across that lady. It was a bit of a drive, I will have to admit, but my son and I went, and it was kind of like a fun road trip. Anyways, so the few tags that I did make, I used some of the images. So there's one there, and that's also a butterfly from her. And I just collaged some music paper and stuff. So, and you can see the line from the drywall tape right through there. But I doubled up, so they're really quite strong. This is another image, cute little birds. I just tore it out. There's some music paper there. There's Tracy Fox label. And then one of my little tabs that the last video we did together. I attached one on there. Here too, there's just a little tab, some collage, a little bit of fabric there. Another little image from that lady. Just some collaging. And a little tab there. And then this one is just, this is fussy cut from I also recently got some books. So that was from a gardening book. I cut out a bunch of roses and stuff. And yeah, and that one's got some lines on it to write. So I have one left. I thought I had made them all. So I do have one tag left here. I thought maybe we could just quickly put one together while we're here. Just grab my glue stick, because I don't think I have to cut anything. Anyhow, I think I'm just going to use a bit of I don't know if we're going to use book page or music page. I took out this little image. I really like this. And I don't know if I'm going to tear around it or not. Maybe I will. Just gives it a little bit more of a raw sort of look. Now, torn out those little purple flowers. Oh well. So I hope everybody is keeping safe and well. It's crazy out there, let me tell you. I wish this whole thing would end, quite frankly. I think I'm going to use book page. So I'm going to just kind of do a half and half kind of. I'm going to put got Canada on there. Look at that. Isn't that weird? That was by fluke. Anyway, I'm going to use that. And I'm going to glue things down. I'm going to kind of hang them off the edge and then I'll cut it down after. Yeah, because I only want a bit of that on there anyway. Okay, so let me just put some glue on here. Oops. Okay. Just cut this down. Okay. So I have book page on there, and then I have this little bit of scrapbooking paper. Which I think I'm just going to put straight on there. So when I do a bunch of tags like this, the first thing I do is tell myself, don't overthink, just put it down. So that's what I do. That's what I'm going to be doing. And stop thinking about it and just get it down. Otherwise, I could be here for days just putting together one tag. And who has that kind of time? Not me. Okay, so that looks cute just like that, kind of going right down the middle there. And then I think I'll just put this little image on. Where do we like it? Then I feel like something has to go here. What can we put there? What colors do we have there? Pink, red. I feel like something is missing there. Just thinking. bit of music paper. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put a little bit of music paper on the edge there. Do you know the other thing? I was finding that I was literally inking everything. You know, like with distress ink, inking all the edges of everything all the time. And so I'm trying to break away from that because I don't know if I mentioned this before, but not everything needs ink. And I was just getting so used to doing that things could look sort of vintage in their own way without having so much brown ink all over everything. So that's another thing I'm kind of trying to get used to. I guess it's like, you know, there's a time and a place for everything. I don't know why that's not glued. Okay. And I just kind of feel like sometimes with brighter colors, it's not really the place for it. If that makes any sense at all. Okay, let's glue up the little bird here. My thumb is hurting right now. Okay, just put that there. And just put our little label. No, I don't like it there. There. So just very simple. Just poke a hole up here so I can put something in there later. And that's it. Simple, simple. And fun. So, yeah, so that's about it. That's what I've come up with so far. I don't know what else I could come up with for my drywall tape, but I'll keep it around, and I guess if something strikes me, I will make more things. So, like I said, all of these projects are very, very, very easily done with regular book paper or book pages, scrap paper, anything that you have. You don't have to use what I use. I just wanted to show how unusual items can be used for usual items, I guess. I don't know. But so yeah. So those are my things, and that's it. So I hope that you guys are all doing well, keeping safe. Hopefully I'll be back with another video real soon, and we can chat then. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourselves, you guys, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.